What happens when an outspoken liberal woman decides to confront a celebrity athlete in the midst of a bustling mall? The scene is set in a vibrant shopping center, alive with the buzz of weekend shoppers. The air is filled with the scent of fresh coffee and the distant sound of children laughing near a fountain. Amidst this cheerful chaos, Jenna, a passionate social justice advocate, spots Ronda Rousey, the formidable former MMA fighter turned actress, browsing through a sports store. Jenna, known for her fiery blog posts and unwavering beliefs, can't resist the opportunity to challenge Ronda on her recent controversial statements about women's roles in sports. As Jenna approaches Ronda, her heart pounds with a mix of excitement and nerves. She's rehearsed this moment in her mind, played out every argument, and is ready to make a stand. But as she steps forward, her foot catches on a loose floor tile, sending her sprawling across the floor, her papers flying. The commotion catches Ronda's attention, and instead of the confrontation Jenna imagined, Ronda rushes over to help her up. "Hey, are you okay?" Ronda asks, her tone laced with genuine concern. Jenna is momentarily stunned. This isn't the reaction she expected. Around them, a crowd forms, some recognizing Ronda and pulling out their phones, anticipating a spectacle. Jenna, her cheeks flushed with embarrassment and adrenaline, stammers out her intended confrontational greeting. But Ronda just smiles and invites Jenna for coffee to talk things over. The offer is so unexpected that Jenna finds herself agreeing, albeit hesitantly. As they sit down in the mall's crowded coffee shop, Jenna begins to lay out her points, her voice shaking slightly. Ronda listens, nodding thoughtfully, her responses measured and insightful. The conversation, surprisingly, turns deeply personal. Jenna shares her background in women's rights activism, driven by her sister's negative experiences in professional sports. Ronda opens up about her own struggles with media stereotypes and public expectations. What started as a planned attack morphs into a heartfelt exchange about their hopes for the future of women in sports and beyond. They discuss the pressures of maintaining a public image and the personal costs of celebrity. Jenna is taken aback by Ronda's openness and humility, qualities she hadn't associated with a star based on media portrayals. The afternoon slips away as their talk delves into broader societal issues, each finding common ground and mutual respect where they expected none. The onlookers gradually disperse, realizing there won't be a viral confrontation after all. Instead, Jenna and Ronda part ways with a selfie and promises to support each other's efforts in promoting positive change. As Jenna walks away, her initial motives upended. She feels a mixture of confusion and enlightenment. She had come to the mall armed for a fight, but leaves with a potential ally. Her blog post about the day, instead of a scathing critique, becomes a reflective piece on the power of open dialogue and the importance of challenging one's own biases inspired by her unexpected encounter. Jenna dives into her blog, her fingers flying across the keyboard. She recounts her meeting with Ronda, emphasizing the unexpected turn from confrontation to conversation. The post quickly goes viral, sparking debates and discussions across various social media platforms. Supporters praise Jenna for her open-mindedness, while critics argue she softened her stance too quickly. Amid the buzz, Ronda shares the blog on her own social channels, praising Jenna's courage and the importance of dialogue, which only fuels the fire. Meanwhile, Jenna receives an invitation from a local university to speak at a panel about women in sports. The panel includes prominent athletes, academics, and activists. Jenna feels out of her depth, but remembers Ronda's advice about embracing opportunities to make a difference. As the panel date approaches, Jenna prepares meticulously, using her and Ronda's conversation as the foundation of her talk. On the day of the panel, Jenna's nerves are palpable. The auditorium is packed, the air thick with anticipation. As she takes her seat, she spots Ronda in the audience, giving her a reassuring nod. The discussion kicks off with heated debates about funding in women's sports and media representation. Jenna listens intently, her earlier conversation with Ronda providing a fresh perspective on these issues. When it's her turn to speak, Jenna starts hesitantly but gains confidence as she shares her personal journey and recent experiences. She talks about the need for empathy in activism and the power of personal stories in fostering understanding. Her speech is met with a mixture of applause and some skepticism, but Jenna feels a spark of accomplishment. She's contributing to a larger conversation, one that could potentially influence positive change. After the panel, Jenna is approached by several attendees who express their admiration for her honesty and fresh insights. She feels a new sense of responsibility, realizing her words and actions can inspire others just as Ronda inspired her. Motivated, Jenna decides to start a podcast focusing on women's issues in sports, inviting guests from various spheres to broaden the dialogue she started with Ronda. Back at home, Jenna reflects on the whirlwind of events. She logs into her blog, now bustling with activity, and writes about her panel experience. She emphasizes the importance of open dialogue and the surprising impact of stepping out of one's comfort zone. Her final lines capture her new outlook. Change doesn't always start with loud protests or confrontations. Sometimes, it's a quiet conversation over coffee that can speak volumes. Jenna's podcast, Voices of the Game, quickly finds its audience. Each episode explores different facets of sports culture, highlighting the unsung heroes and the complex challenges women face in the industry. As her subscriber count rises, Jenna feels more connected to her mission than ever before. She uses her platform to amplify voices that are often overlooked, bringing stories from diverse backgrounds into the limelight. One afternoon, Jenna receives an unexpected call from Ronda's manager. Ronda has been following Jenna's podcast and wants to collaborate on a special episode. Ecstatic, Jenna agrees, and they set a date. The episode focuses on mental health in sports, a topic close to both their hearts. Ronda speaks candidly about her struggles with pressure and public perception, while Jenna shares insights from other athletes she has interviewed. The episode is a hit, resonating with young athletes and seasoned professionals alike. Listeners appreciate the vulnerability and authenticity of the conversation, sparking a broader discussion about mental health resources in the sports community. Inspired by the response, Jenna and Ronda organize a webinar with mental health experts, coaches, and athletes to explore solutions and support systems. Amidst her growing success, Jenna is invited to a national sports conference to speak about media's role in shaping public perception of female athletes. Her presentation includes clips from her podcast, showcasing real stories of resilience and determination. The audience is moved by the raw, powerful narratives, and Jenna's session receives a standing ovation. She feels a profound sense of fulfillment, knowing she's making a tangible impact. The conference leads to more opportunities for Jenna, including a book deal to write about her journey and the transformative power of listening. She spends the next year traveling, speaking, and writing. Her book, Beyond the Game, shares her insights on activism, the importance of empathy, and how her encounter with Ronda changed her life. As Beyond the Game is published, Jenna holds a launch event attended by friends, family, and many from the sports and activism communities. Ronda is there too, smiling proudly from the audience. Jenna reads a passage about their first meeting, her voice steady and sure, filled with gratitude. She ends the reading with a call to action, urging everyone to engage in meaningful conversations, even with those they disagree with. The night is a celebration of progress, dialogue, and the unexpected friendships that can alter the course of our lives. Jenna, once a fiery blogger ready to battle, now stands as a beacon of change, her words and actions inspiring a new generation to speak up, reach out, and understand. As guests mingle and share their stories, Jenna realizes that her journey has just begun. There's more to explore, more to change, and many more conversations to be had. But for now, she savors the moment, grateful for every step that led her here. And the weeks following her book launch, Jenna's schedule is packed with interviews, panel discussions, and book signings. Each event is a new opportunity to share her message, and she approaches every engagement with the same passion and dedication that started her journey. Her discussions often return to the core idea that sparked her change: the unexpected value of dialogue and the power of personal connection. As Jenna travels from city to city, she meets countless individuals who share their stories of overcoming obstacles in sports and other fields. Each story adds layers to her understanding of the complex tapestry of human experiences. She starts documenting these encounters, envisioning her next project, a series highlighting the diverse challenges and triumphs of people she meets. Jenna's blog and podcast serve as platforms for these stories, further expanding her influence and the community she fosters. Meanwhile, the impact of her book and public engagements begins to ripple outward. Educational institutions start incorporating her book into their sports and gender studies curricula, inviting Jenna to speak to students about media literacy, mental health, and gender equality in sports. Jenna is thrilled to see young people engaging with her work, asking insightful questions, and starting discussions of their own. It's a testament to the change she hoped to inspire. On a more personal note, Jenna's relationship with Ronda evolves into a deep friendship. They continue to support each other's endeavors, often collaborating on projects that combine their influences to push for systemic changes in sports culture. Their shared experiences form the basis of a new initiative they co-found, a non-profit focused on mental health advocacy for athletes. The initiative provides workshops, resources, and a support network, all designed to address the mental strains unique to athletic careers. As her influence grows, Jenna never loses sight of the grassroots nature of her mission. She makes a point of attending smaller, community-run sports events, where she talks directly with upcoming athletes and their supporters. These intimate settings remind her of her own beginnings and the importance of supporting talent at every level. Months later, Jenna organizes a large-scale community event that brings together athletes, activists, academics, and fans. The event is a celebration of sports and its ability to unite people across different backgrounds. Workshops, speeches, and panel discussions fill the day, while interactive sessions provide attendees with practical tools and knowledge to apply in their own communities. The culmination of the event is a panel featuring Jenna and Ronda, where they discuss the journey they've undertaken together since their fateful meeting in the mall. The panel ends with an open Q&A, where attendees express their gratitude and share how Jenna's work has influenced their lives. The warmth and support in the room are overwhelming, reinforcing Jenna's belief in the power of community and conversation. As the event wraps up, Jenna stands at the back of the hall, watching as people mingle, exchange contacts, and share laughs and stories. She feels a profound connection to this community she's helped build, filled with individuals committed to making a difference. Jenna knows the road ahead is long and filled with challenges, but she's ready to face them with the same boldness and openness that have brought her this far. Her journey continues, one conversation at a time, each one a step towards a more inclusive and understanding world. The success of Jenna's community event inspires her to think bigger and broader. She decides to launch an annual conference, dedicated to addressing key issues at the intersection of sports, gender, and mental health. The plan is ambitious, aiming to attract international speakers and participants who can bring new perspectives and solutions to the fore. As she sets the groundwork for the conference, Jenna collaborates with universities, sports organizations, and mental health professionals to create a robust agenda that tackles these complex topics from multiple angles. As preparations for the conference ramp up, Jenna continues to produce her podcast, which has become an essential platform for promoting the upcoming event and discussing its major themes. She invites previous guests and new voices to share their insights and build anticipation for what promises to be a groundbreaking gathering. The episodes are rich with discussions about the psychological impacts of competition, the media's role in shaping public perceptions of female athletes, and strategies for creating more inclusive sports environments. Meanwhile, Jenna's non-profit sees an uptick in engagement and donations, thanks in part to the publicity generated by her book and speaking engagements. This surge in resources allows her and Ronda to expand their programs, including launching a mentorship scheme that pairs young athletes with experienced professionals who can offer guidance, support, and career advice. The mentorship program quickly becomes a cornerstone of their non-profit, celebrated for its impact on participants' lives. The inaugural conference finally arrives, hosted in a sprawling venue filled with banners proclaiming unity and empowerment. Jenna opens the event with a keynote speech that traces her journey from a single confrontational moment in a mall to the wide-reaching movements she now spearheads. Her speech is met with applause and cheers, setting an energetic tone for the days ahead. Throughout the conference, sessions delve into nuanced discussions about equal pay, media representation, and the mental health challenges athletes face. Breakout groups allow participants to share experiences and brainstorm actionable strategies for change, fostering a sense of community and collective action. Jenna is everywhere, moderating panels, facilitating sessions, and ensuring that the conference not only discusses problems but also proposes real solutions. On the final day of the conference, a panel of young athletes takes the stage to discuss how Jenna's initiatives have influenced their careers and lives. They speak about the mentorship program, describing it as a transformative experience that gave them confidence and direction. The panel ends with a surprise announcement, a significant grant from a major sports apparel company aimed at supporting the expansion of the mentorship program and other initiatives championed by Jenna's non-profit. As the conference wraps up, Jenna feels a mix of exhaustion and exhilaration. She spends the last hours mingling with attendees, receiving feedback, and discussing potential collaborations. Many express their hope that the conference will become a regular event, eagerly asking about next year's dates. After everyone has left, Jenna walks through the now empty venue, her steps echoing in the quiet. She pauses to look at the banners still hanging, their messages of empowerment and unity. A smile spreads across her face as she realizes the magnitude of what she's begun. Energized by the success of the conference, she's already jotting down ideas for next year, determined to push the boundaries even further. Back home, Jenna updates her blog with a reflective post about the conference. She outlines the achievements, the lessons learned, and her vision for the future. The post ends with an invitation for readers to join her in this ongoing journey, to continue the dialogue and work together for a fairer, healthier sports world. As she publishes the post, Jenna feels a renewed sense of purpose. The conversation she started with a simple blog post has grown into a powerful movement, and she is just getting started.